We tryna get paid.
Making money, make it dollar
We tryna
bills,
get
y'all.
paid.
Making money,
Yeah,
make
you
it.
save and invest, stacking up checks. Let's go.
Mixed day on the market as the SPY scrapped up a puny gain and the Qs a puny loss, which would have been greater if it wasn't for Microsoft. It's clear that we're slowly running out of breath here. You can clearly see it in AMD and NVIDIA. NVIDIA, 83 RSI, the highest since 2016. Google, Facebook, same story. On Facebook, pull up that 2-minute chart and you'll see a $5 slide from about 11:50 to about 1 o'clock. Black box stocks was all over that one. You also saw a $100 dip in Tesla midday today, and I saw a little panic on Twitter when that happened. I saw people got even more mad when it bounced. Let me tell you, I can't wait till Tesla and Apple split, because these are going to be plays that are going to be finally, and after a long time, become more affordable to trade. I mean, the weekly spreads in Tesla and Apple had just been really getting out of hand in terms of the cost. Apple completely made my 2020. Tesla just really started to fall in love with that towards the beginning of the summer. That's a stock that I really should have got to know year or two ago, to be honest with you. I mentioned Honeywell 3 days ago, up $10 a share now since I brought it up. Netflix gave away some profits today, but look, those $495, $500 put spreads that I got in last week are long since worthless. I do expect Netflix to hold $500 for the week, though. Got one more day left. I'm confident Netflix can hold it. Amazon sitting at $3,400, but not before hitting a new all-time high at $34.53. That's 2 weeks in a row straight up, folks. Pull that chart up. 2 weeks in a row straight up on Amazon. It's looking like the overall exchange. I mean, we're just going higher and higher and higher. And it's looking dangerous. I mean, let's be honest with it, right? It's looking very, very dangerous how these charts are setting up right now, because it's not even like a sideways it's just like straight up. It's just straight up. Best performing ETFs of the day were the financials, ladies and gentlemen. XLF, FAS, among others. I mean, as much as I hate to see it, I spoke to, guys looking at the recovery trade, and they're saying it's real. I mean, they're saying this is the time to get into small caps. The food plays, the outdoor entertainment plays, they're sticking. And by the way, when I mention RRGB, those delicious Red Robin gourmet burgers play, I mean stocks, okay? I'm not talking about getting in those in the options, all right? Not playing them through options at all. Trust me on that. No one will buy them from you. Those spreads are like $2 wide. Nobody's going to buy that shit if you jump in there. Don't even think about it. Most impressive was Live Nation, ticker LYV. That was moving on that info today that the federal government is going to be giving a huge $750 million welfare handout to Abbott Labs. I think their ticker is ABT. And look, the least the federal government can do, if it's going to give a privately traded company that much money, at least tell us and have the company publish how much each test is being made for, right? And how much we're paying for each test. Now, I have found out supposedly the test will now be $5, but that's after the $750 million. So how much is it before? How much are we actually paying for it? I mean, this is the least they can do, right? This is our tax money, and that is standard procedure for basically every other grant out there. But for whatever reason, when it's come to COVID, nobody shows the money. I mean, nobody shows us what we're really buying. I forgot the name of that machine that they put you on when your lungs have given up. Is it respirators? You guys know that machine Trump was saying he ended up forcing GM to go and build, and a couple other companies go build. I believe they were respirators. But I mean, how much did we pay for each machine? Nobody knows. I mean, this is the biggest welfare grab. and nobody's paying attention. All right. Another thing before I get off my high horse, why is Jay Powell still buying Apple corporate debt? Can somebody tell me that? I mean, don't get it twisted. I made a lot of money on Apple. Many of you who are listening to my voice right now have made a lot of money on Apple. But why are we buying Apple corporate debt? Is it because his entire net worth is trapped into BlackRock ETFs, which have huge stakes in Apple corporate debt? By the way, BlackRock ticker BLK. All right. Anyway, we've talked about AMZN getting kicked out of the Dow earlier this week. It's definitely showing in the price as positions are being closed out. But, not everyone can afford a Tesla, guys. So green energy isn't exactly coming tomorrow for everyone. And that's why I think, as much shit as I talked earlier this week, AMZN, XOM, Chevron, CVX, the ETF, broad ETF, XLE, I think they need to be paid attention to. All right. I think they need to be paid attention to, at least on a watch list, because, road travel will pick up again, and we should see those plays, start to be at least a darling to someone out there in the future. So, those earnings, those dividends, they need to be paid for. And while they're cash rich now, I do believe they're going to continue to be cash rich. And that means if oil recovers to prices that we've seen in the past. And I think that will happen. Airlines firing pilots, firing flight attendants, but still holding the 10 moving average. Take a look at the daily chart of Delta or American Airlines, ticker DAL, AAL for American Airlines. And, I'm not going to jump in it, but my system told you to jump in it at 28.22, specifically on, I believe that is American Airlines. And now we're at 30.82. Spirit Airlines fighting to hold its ground, hit 19.19 before settling at 18.31 for the day. Still giving a buy signal there too as well. So airlines still putting up, a good fight, and this could very well be the bottom, right? The beginning of the turnaround. So don't sleep on those. And those are great. Spirit, more of a stock play, but I think the options are getting a little bit more liquid since this whole COVID thing has happened. Delta and American Airlines, decent liquidity on their options. mRNA, boy, I'd like so much to buy a put on mRNA, but they are masters of putting out bullshit news. So you got to be very careful with that. But mRNA, boy, that looks like it wants to touch 55 so bad. I mean, it looks like it wants to touch 55 so bad. MasterCard and Visa, beast mode. I mean, beast mode on the payment processors. Real talk. Somebody needs to make an ETF just for the payment processors. MasterCard, Visa, Square, PayPal, and whoever else is in that space in, whether it be a small cap, mid cap, or bigger, because all of those stocks are running so hot. So hot. Look, the movement of digital money is real, man. Fuck Bitcoin. Look, I learned a lot about Bitcoin. I had a lot of people come on my show and talk to me about Bitcoin. But MasterCard, Visa, Square, PayPal, they made some people some real money this year. I mean, heck, when you pull up the weekly, monthly, they've been making people money for the last couple years. I'm talking real legit month after month money when you look at those charts. I'm not talking hope and wish and promise money like Bitcoin. I'm talking money right now. Digital money is real, and that's what these Bitcoin people don't want to understand is that, what's stopping just a pure digital dollar? The movement of money in a blink of an eye, right? Visa and MasterCard are already doing this. And I can pay my taxes with it. I can get some booty with it. Real talk, man. Ain't nobody getting no cheeks with no Bitcoin, bro. And that's why I don't really fuck with it. I'm a black man. You know what I'm saying? I need to see some titties 10 times a week, bro. And when that fly honey come to you, she want her nails done, her hair done, she ain't got no time to hear you talking about your Bitcoin got a process. Ain't nobody got time for that, man. Ain't nobody got time for that. Somebody talked to me today in Messenger about what's his racist ass right here, Peter Schiff. Let me tell you something right now about him. Do not listen to Peter Schiff. I do not care about anything he has to say about anything. You already know what he's going to say. All right, blah, 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 Federal Reserve, blah, 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 Federal Reserve, come buy gold at Schiff Gold. That's what he's going to say. And then he's going to spend another 20 to 25 minutes blaming black people for their economic situation. And I'm not even going to go there because y'all know I could spend a whole hour talking about that. All right? The man is a suspected white supremacist. People who like him are suspected white supremacists. If you fuck with Peter Schiff, I already know you're a racist for the most part, and you believe in right-leaning kind of beliefs and kind of things like that. I already know. You see, as soon as I click on somebody's YouTube and I see Peter Schiff, I already know what you all about already. I don't even have to worry about anything else. All right? Anyway, y'all done got me started on that. Look, we're going straight up, man. We're going straight up. It's getting weak. It's getting weak because we're not seeing those huge 1% days like we did before. If you notice, we're creeping, right? When you start to see that kind of creeping gain, that means, you know, we're starting to get extended here. So we should get a strong pullback. But as of right now, as I've mentioned, I'm staying in for whatever that pullback is going to be, because every 10th of a percent, right? Every 20th of a percent, right, is translating for many of us into an extra 1,000, an extra 500, an extra 300 here and there on many of our plays. On many of our plays. It's your boy Sal. Ran over my time. I'm already late, but I appreciate everybody who's listening. Until next time, tomorrow is another trading day. Trade well.